Hi there. I am Dr. Felice Gersh. I'm the medical director of the Integrative Medical Group of Irvine, located here in Irvine, California. And I specialize in women's health care. I'm board certified in integrative medicine and in OBGYN. I'm talking today about food. You cannot live without food. Food is essential for the functioning of every cell in your body. So let's start with how do you get food? Because you have to start by filling your pantry, your refrigerator with healthy food. And we're going to talk about what is healthy food, what should you buy, especially if there's shortages. And by the way, I do want to mention the shortages are generally artificially created due to people swarming stores. There is no challenge right now in getting fresh food. It's just that people bought a lot of different products, particularly packaged goods. So let's start again with how to buy food. You have to go to the grocery store typically. So when you go to the grocery store, I want you to have protection. I want you to, if you can get work gloves that you can then put on before you go out and you go shopping, then it would be very, very helpful. You can then take them off when you get to your car, put them in a Ziploc baggie, and then proceed to go into your car, touch your steering wheel, and so on. If you just can't get work gloves, they're like for washing dishes, they're still pretty available. But if for some reason you can't acquire them, then judiciously use the hand sanitizer, the cleaning gels that are up in most of the stores. Make sure when you do get home, you thoroughly wash your hands for, at least a few minutes, okay? Where you count you sing happy birthday twice while you really suds up your hands really well before you start handling your food. And make sure then afterwards you wash your hands again, especially if you're taking things out of packages. So what about the other areas of safety? I want you to wear a mask and I'll have eye protection. I know you've been told in the past that masks are pointless for healthy people. Well, I just got off an incredible live, sort of like a webinar with doctors from all over the world they're right in the trenches dealing with coronavirus. I spoke with doctors from Spain, Italy, France, South Korea, China, the US, and other places. And the message was very clear. You need to protect yourself. Staying healthy means you protect yourself. I don't care what you heard before. I want you to wear a mask and eye protection. But you may say, what if I'm not a doctor? I didn't buy these. I don't have them. And in fact, I don't have very many myself because I can't even buy them. The stores are sold out, but so are the medical supply lines. So you can make your own. For the moment, just use a bandana, a scarf, just put something around and wear sunglasses if that's what you have. If you have glasses, wear them. Protect your face. When you go through the store, try to keep your distance. Try to keep 6 feet between you and other shoppers. Now, especially if you have high-risk situations like you are immunocompromised, you're hypertensive, you have obesity, other metabolic problems, or elderly, you really should call the stores. They're very helpful. Call the store that you love to shop in and say, what times of the day is the store the least crowded? And say, can you tell me when you're having a delivery? Because I really would like to pick up certain items. Can you tell me if they've come in yet today? So they will help you. They care about you. If you have friends or relatives that are not immunocompromised or elderly or have other predisposing conditions, they might be able to shop for you and then leave the bags at your door. So this is a time when communities are getting together and trying to help the people most at risk. But even if you're not at risk, you're just a healthy millennial, okay? I still want you to do all these precautions. They're finding that young people are actually getting ill to quite a significant degree. Fortunately, they are almost never, very rarely dying, but they are getting ill. So please, I don't care what your age is or your medical history, you need to protect yourself. Now, what about when you're going to go shopping? You have to go and get fresh produce. Many of my friends have gone shopping and they found that there's plenty of fruits and vegetables out, but it's all the processed foods, all the stuff in plastic that's disappeared off the shelves. You don't need chips. You don't want those kinds of foods. This is the time when you want to do farm to table eating. You want to have no middleman, no factory food, no processed foods. Now you may say, but why is that? Well, you need at this time more than ever to have the most optimally functioning immune system. That means you need to have all the micronutrients to actually allow your cells to do the jobs they were designed to do and do them optimally. So what are the foods that you really want to buy? So think some of the very basics. How about garlic and onions? So they have been shown to be very antimicrobial, antiviral. These are very healthy foods. They have in them allicin, and that is an ingredient, a type of polyphenol that has been shown to really boost the immune system functioning. So if you like them, please try to include those in your diet. As well, the cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, kale, arugula, Brussels sprouts, and so forth, turnips. These amazing cruciferous vegetables have in them what's called sulforaphane. These are dramatically helpful. They've actually had some studies in terms of helping to deal with viral infections. These micronutrients actually increase the liver's ability to detoxify, and they're incredibly important for immune system functioning. So do try to include a lot of cruciferous vegetables in your diet. And what about spices? Well, spices are very, very beneficial. So think everything like turmeric, thyme, oregano, ginger, cinnamon. These spices actually help your immune system. They're antimicrobial in and of themselves. So please consider spicing up your food, even curries. In fact, they've shown that the spicier the food, the better off you are. So if you like really hot peppers, put hot peppers into your foods. These are excellent for your immune system. Now, the other thing that you must consider is maintaining a healthy gut microbiome. One of the things that happens when people get ill is they have impaired gut barrier function, and the toxins from the bad bacteria actually cross into your body. Those are called endotoxins, and they can create endotoxemia. This can be what actually leads to the cytokine storm that is so prevalent now as the killing mechanism. Now we have learned that this virus, the coronavirus, it doesn't just affect the lungs, it can actually affect the GI tract. And people who have involvement with the GI tract actually have higher mortality. So protecting your gut is really key to protecting your life. So how do you do that? You need to eat wonderful foods that support the gut microbiome and barrier function. That includes all of the legumes, beans, lentils. These are wonderful foods to support the gut microbiome. Also, all sorts of vegetables and fruits. It turns out the microbes love all kinds of variety of polyphenols, these magical ingredients that you find across the board in all the different vegetables and fruits. So don't just focus on one. Try to eat across the colors of the rainbow and try to include cruciferous vegetables, all the root vegetables. Well, let me talk a little bit about root vegetables. They are also incredibly important for gut microbiome health. They carry in them fiber. So think carrots, things, rutabagas, turnips, yams, potatoes. Now, these also hold longer. So if you can get a hold of these, and I know these often sell out, but that's where connecting with the manager of your market is so important. Explain that you would just like to try to pick these up and see if you can find out when they're delivered. Also, think ethnic markets. I checked in my area, and some of the Asian markets, they have huge volumes of root vegetables and yams. So please check your ethnic markets in your area. They may have foods that you have never even tried that you now are going to be open to trying, like bok choy, different types of cabbages that you may never have tried before. These are wonderful for your health overall. Make sure you get nuts and seeds. It turns out that, for example, almonds, they're amazing for giving you vitamin E. Vitamin E is a very potent antioxidant that has also been shown to be very beneficial for fighting viral infections. But don't forget things like walnuts, because they have in them the precursors for omega-3, very important. And talking about omega-3, there are some foods that you may not have even thought about eating. How about sardines? A lot of my patients, they wrinkle their nose when they hear the word sardines. Well, and how about kippers and herring? So these are very healthy foods that have high amounts of omega-3 naturally in them. It may get harder to buy supplements. I want you to know we carry a lot of supplements in my office, and a lot of the things that we're ordering now are on back order. Many of the ingredients come from China, and that pipeline is gone right now. So we're going to have huge shortages of supplements, and we're looking, actually I have a meeting this afternoon looking for other sources of high quality, because I need to have multiple lines in order to help my patients. So think not just supplements, we do love them and we find them very beneficial, but think, where are the ingredients that they put into supplements coming from? They're coming from real foods. So you need to have vitamin C. There's a lot of data on the benefits of vitamin C for the immune system. How about eating citrus fruits every single day? Oranges, grapefruits, tangerines. These are fantastic sources of vitamin C. Also, cantaloupes, such melons, are wonderful. But don't forget, there are some vegetables that are high in vitamin C. For example, red peppers. They are loaded with vitamin C. So we definitely want to get that. Now, back to those sardines. Well, we went and checked our local market, and the only kinds of canned fish that were there were sardines and kippers. Now, I happen to grow up with these, and I really like them. And I think you haven't tried them, perhaps, and that's why you don't like them. But if you think you don't, try them again. You can go online. There are some amazing recipes for sardines and kippers. You can also cut them into little pieces and throw them into a salad, and you might not even notice they're there if it just doesn't appeal to you. But you can get a full gram of omega-3, the healthiest omega-3, from eating 1 can of sardines. So it's also an amazing source of protein, and it has, like I said, the healthy fats. So think sort of out of the box, or out of the can, and think sardines and kippers and herring. Those are really excellent for your diet. Now, the other thing that you might want to consider is what to buy for storage. Like, you can't go to the grocery store every day. So we definitely want you to make a run at least once a week, maybe twice a week, to get fresh fruits and vegetables. And find out when your stores are getting deliveries. Oh, by the way, for seniors now, people 65 and older, many of the stores are having a senior hour where they sell the food that the seniors can get access to between 7 and 8 in the morning. But there's some problems with that. I've checked on that from some of my patients because I haven't participated. But the seniors are lining up outside the store starting a little after 6 in the morning, and they're all congregating. This is not wise. There's no one supervising them. So I would disagree. That's not what you want to do. I would rather that you call the store manager, explain your situation, that you're a higher risk person, and ask for the store hours when traffic is the slowest, and also when the food items that you really want are actually in stock, so that you don't have to, make trips and then not get what you want anyway, and risk exposures. So what about things that you can buy and store in your home in case you can't get out? There's no shortage of dried beans and lentils. These are wonderful. You can soak them and you can have a wonderful meal with beans and lentils. They're a great source of fiber and protein. So please stock up on dried beans and lentils. Now, I'm not a big fan of canned goods that have BPA as a liner, but right now we have to pick our battles. So if you need to, buy canned goods, canned beans and soups if you have to, okay? That wouldn't be what I'd recommend normally if they're BPA lined. But right now, like I said, we have to pick our battles. But also look for different types of rices, like basmati rice. It actually does not raise your blood sugar. It's really very healthy. So think of all the rices. Basmati rice is probably the best choice. And if you are in an area that has Persian stores, you can probably find gigantic bags of it. Get the biggest one you can find, perhaps, and then you could be set for quite some time. Don't forget other grains that you may not have heard of, like millet and buckwheat and amaranth. These are wonderful, healthy, more ancient type grains. I want you to see if you can get them. They have them in many of the grocery stores now that cater to sort of more out of the way kinds of grains, and you might also be able to buy them online still. So be sure that you think out of the box for grains that you may never have tried before. So we want to do the following. We want to keep you safe when you go shopping. I want you to wear face protection, just a scarf around your face, sunglasses or your glasses, and then when you get home, drop them in the wash everything, wash your hands. If you can go shopping with gloves and then put them in a Ziploc baggie, wash them later, then you can get back in your car, use the gel if they have it and you don't have gloves. Try not to handle things, keep your distance, 6 feet apart, and if you need to, wait till the lines get smaller and then get on the line so that you can do your checkout. Make sure that you can do it, when times are slower. If you're a senior, don't congregate in those lines and the groups of people that are congregating outside the door before they open at 7 for seniors. That stay and wait in your car. I wish they would change it and give maybe everyone takes a number and then they just flash a big number. You get out of your car and go in. I mean, I think that will happen right now. As you know, a lot of things are still in the very incipient stages and disorganization kind of is more the rule. So we want you to be safe while you're shopping. Buy a number of items like dried beans, legumes, canned goods so that you have things that you can have for emergencies, that you don't have to shop all the time. Don't forget giant bags of things like basmati rice, and explore the grains that you may never have tried, millet, buckwheat, amaranth, and such. And don't forget that food is medicine. Food is what is designed to keep your body healthy. So eat across the colors of the rainbow. Eat citrus fruits every day. Make sure you eat cruciferous. Make sure you eat lots of spices. And eat from, the colors of the rainbow. If you want to email my office at mail@integrativemgi.com, I will personally send you a website that is fantastic, that it tells you, based on the ingredients that you have in your house, a whole slew of recipes. I put in some things last night like tomatoes and cucumber and salad greens, and then I threw in some other odd items, and I got something like 7 different interesting recipes, things that I never even would have thought of. So you take the ingredients that you have in your house, strange things that you've never even tried, like adding mustard and such, and they give you a whole variety of really interesting recipes so that you can use what you have. So it's kind of a fun kind of thing as well. So food is not an option. A lot of people have thought of food as entertainment. I want it to be enjoyable, but food is required. It's for the essence of your body's cells to do their job. So thank you so much for joining me. And I'm sort of new to this, so I hope I don't make any mistakes, but I'm going to now take your questions. I'm going to lean forward and I'm going to have Tiffany, my PA, read them to me, and hopefully we can answer a lot of your questions.
Okay, some of them you already did answer. One of them was, should they worry about canned foods lined with BPAs?
Yeah, rinse everything well. If you open a can, it has BPA in the lining, please just rinse it, and know that this is not going to last forever. Hopefully by 3 months things will be better, but do whatever you can to, when you go shopping, to get fresh fruits and vegetables. We're not in a famine. I want to emphasize that this is not a time of famine. The supermarkets will have supplies. The farms are producing, and in fact, in many stores, the produce is what's sitting there. No one's taken it, and everyone's taken all the canned goods and that sort of thing, especially the stuff in plastic bags, the packaged plastic stuff. So that's what's really sold out, along with the paper goods, of course. But really the fresh fruits and vegetables will still be rolling in. You may not always get exactly what you want. That's where, you have to be innovative, and that's where if you get in touch with me and you email me, I will send you to that site where you can take all kinds of odd ingredients and create amazing dishes.
Okay, another writes, most times foods are stored in plastics and then frozen. Can you recommend how to store fresh fruits frozen?
Okay, so there isn't a great way to store food that doesn't involve any sort of covering. So you have to sort of choose between, right now, between some sort of a plastic item or some sort of like aluminum foil. The most important thing is that you wait until the food is not warm, it's cold. So put the food that you're cooking that you want to then store or freeze, put it in ceramic or glass or stainless steel and let it cool down a little, then put it in the refrigerator. When it's really cold, if you then put it in the freezer bags or in aluminum foil, it doesn't really, the plastic or the surrounding material doesn't leach so much into the food itself. So the secret is never put things in plastic or aluminum foil while they're still hot. Make them cold first.
Okay, and then immune boosting foods, you touched on that a little bit. Anything more specific?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked that. Yes, I want to tell you about zinc. So there are very few foods that contain zinc that we really eat in great quantities. So if you can go to the store, there are certain seafood items that are incredibly high in zinc, and zinc is so important for immune function. We just got some of this yesterday. Oysters. Now you may say, I don't even know what to do with oysters. You can buy them. They tend to in jars or in cans. They can be just plain or they can be smoked. And you can eat them with just plain. That's how I eat them. Or you can eat them in a salad. But give it a try. This is a time for experimentation. But I'm telling you, oysters are amazing. If you can get shrimp and crabs, they also have a fair amount, not as much, but a fair amount. But mussels also, and clams also have high amounts of zinc. So these are really, really key important foods. And as I mentioned, you get sulforaphane, and you also get the DIM from eating the cruciferous vegetables, which is really so critical. And then, of course, all the citrus fruits are going to give you the vitamin C. Vitamin D is a sunlight vitamin. So right now, we're not quite into the time of year when we make vitamin D. But a lot of foods are fortified, but it turns out that sardines are naturally high in vitamin D, as is some fish oils. So you probably heard of like cod liver oil. That has a lot of vitamin D, but that's more like a supplement. But sardines, hopefully I'm not going to create the biggest mass rush on sardines, but sardines are really a food for longevity. They have the omega-3, which is so important. We have to get some omega-3. So, if you can find some fresh or frozen, not probably fresh, but some frozen wild salmon to try to put in your diet some. And these other, like a lot of people don't know about herring, but you do need to get your vitamin D, you do need to get your omega-3, but you want to get all the different polyphenols. Like, for example, the carotenoids. You probably heard of the beta carotene. Well, that's just one of the carotenoids. So these are very important for health. And they also have in those same vegetables a lot of vitamin A. Vitamin A is very important for immune health and for maintaining a healthy gut, not having a leaky gut. So make sure that you eat like butternut squash and yams, the orange colored vegetables, and carrots. So these are some really key immune boosting foods.
And then the last question is, what supplements do you recommend for immune boosting?
Well, I'm going to do another whole program on that. So stay tuned. We'll be back. But let me tell you what you can also do right now in like 5 minutes. You can go to my store. Okay, so if you go to my website, it's integrativemgi.com. At the top bar, it will show you my store. On my store, I have put together immune support packages. You can actually order them through my store, and you'll see the packages that I put together. And I'm going to go through each of those ingredients and why I chose it in the near future. But, if you want to take me when you trust in me, then you can go and you can either buy from me or you could just see what I'm recommending and you can get it elsewhere, but that will give you an idea of where to start with supplements. So thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure. I'll be back. Stay tuned. We're going to put many more of these together. I might even go to 3 times a week next week because this is so important that you get this information. And if you stay linked to my Instagram account at dr.felicegersh, I will post regularly all kinds of news, as well as when the next Instagram will be coming, and you already know, I think, the sequence of topics, but it will all be there for you. So stay safe, stay well nourished. I'll see you soon. Bye.